Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
So, are you feeling the joy? The sheer, unrelenting joy of it all, right? Ah, so joyous right now.
I've been singing. Joyful. I've got joy down in my heart all morning.
That's great. That's great. I've been cackling all morning, all the way to work. I cackled. Why? Not because it's weird, but because it's joy. No, yes.
Joyful. No, it's not that.
No.
That's the whole thing.
Obviously, what Democrats have decided to do is take that weird cackle, her bizarre demeanor, and try to make those things into a real positive. That's just joy you're seeing. This is a joyful person. Jeez. Really? Is she? All right. Okay. It's incredible. And the freedom theme that's running through this, they're supposedly the party of freedom now. The only freedom they care about and demand is the freedom to kill unborn babies. That's it. The freedom to choose. Okay. You don't want people to be able to choose free speech. They're trying desperately to shut down free speech. They don't want to hear from anybody who differs in opinion on anything. They don't want you to choose the Second Amendment. They're trying to ban assault rifles right now. They don't want you to be able to choose what car to drive. They're trying to lock you into electric right now and forever and get rid of the combustion engine. They don't want you to be able to choose what food you eat. They don't want you to become a millionaire or a billionaire because those choices and that effort is evil. The people who get to that level, they're just, unless they're Democrats, of course, then they're fine. They don't want you to be allowed to choose what school your kid goes to. They're not for school choice. Nope. The only time these bastards, these evil bastards, even mention the United States Constitution is when they're fighting for a right that isn't even in it. Abortion. It's not even in the Constitution. In fact, the opposite is. But this is such a bizarre little death cult.
The whole thing is, and let's not forget. On top of that, I may be jumping ahead on your list, but they don't even care that you got to choose your nominee. They chose it for you.
That's a great point. That's a great point. You can't even choose democracy, which they're all about.
That's what they're all about.
Not one person voted for Kamala Harris. Not one. And she's the nominee. Wow. I mean, the bogus freedom thing they're doing right now is just as bogus as the joy thing. Because the only freedom they care about in this death cult is abortion. That's who they are. And that's what they're all about. It's staggering to watch this take place. Staggering.
And they all want it. They all worship at the altar.
They do. They do. It's like a religion to them.
It is.
The religion of abortion. That's where they worship. Oh, man. All right, so we had Tampon Tim last night, and we had Nancy Pelosi, Bill Clinton. It's great to take him out of mothballs, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Oprah showed up.
Oprah.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Every left-wing lunatic in the world.
Yeah, Hakeem showed up.
Is winding up at this DNC.
Yeah. Man. Oh, they're not letting. They didn't let what's his face from California speak though. And give him. a time
Gavin
slot.
Newsom.
Yeah, give him a time slot. He had to speak while they were nominating Kamala. He took 1,000 minutes to say his piece while they were nominating Kamala from the floor.
It's kind of weird what happened to him.
Yeah.
Very strange.
I mean, he toes the line for him.
Yeah. He's
their guy.
Oh, he's a loyal foot soldier.
Yes, he is.
So the DNC used the Marines anthem to introduce the old fat guy from The high school
Butte,
football
Nebraska.
coach. Yeah. Is it Butte, Nebraska?
Yeah. That's what he said anyway. The coach.
So where's the rest of the team? Are these the only ones that are...
That's it. That's it.
They have the whole team? There's no way. Look at that. That's not the whole team.
No, not even close. Again, though, they make it seem like he was the head coach.
Yeah, they sure do.
Like he was the guy.
Yep.
But the question that social media is asking, why the Marines national anthem? I mean, Marines anthem. Why that?
Right, because he wasn't a Marine.
No.
He was in the National Guard. Aren't using the National Guard theme. This is weird.
It is really, again, weird.
Yeah.
The whole thing is weird.
Yep. And he got introduced as Command Sergeant Major.
And served 24 years in the National Guard, rising to Command Sergeant Major.
Okay, well that...
Okay, rise. He did rise to
yes,
that
he did. That's
temporarily.
actually true, yeah.
Yeah. But still, it's misleading.
It is. Just like the coach thing. It's all a ruse.
And here's his, this is his big entrance from last night. Oh, Small Town by Mellencamp. He's from a small town.
Yeah, he is.
Smaller town than J.D. Vance.
Oh, my God. I know. The son's crying. They're all crying.
Oh, jeez.
We can't believe that our communist father is actually going to be the president nominee.
Dude, get a grip.
Oh, the son?
Yeah.
The son is in the spectrum?
Yeah.
Oh, well. So now we can't make fun of him?
Coach Walz.
Okay.
Everybody's got a Coach Walz side.
Come on now.
Thank you.
This is agonizing.
It sure is.
And we have a little flashback of him walking in the night before. Which
he was
is also exciting.
This is awesome. This is Richard Simmons, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, not now.
Well, no.
But Richard Simmons
When he
of
was
yesteryear.
When he was alive.
Yeah. At least he unbuttoned his jacket so it didn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Hike up
That's
everything.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you.
Point it out. Point it out.
Thank you. Yeah, no doubt. Thing is, Richard Simmons wasn't trying to run the country.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. That's the difference there.
He was actually trying to help people.
Yeah, he was. Then we've got the weird reaction from his son and daughter.
And when
To
our
focus
daughter
on.
was born, we named her Hope.
Wow.
Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you.
We love you too. So before that, he
I'm
talked.
letting you in
Sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
on how we started
Yeah.
a family because this is a big part about what this election is about.
Huh. What, killing families? Is that what? That's a big part, I know.
It is a big part.
So killing babies so that you don't wind up with a family? The hypocrisy it's mind-boggling. Wow. The nerve, the unmitigated gall of these people. They have no self-awareness
Zero.
at all. And
if they do, they
fortunately,
don't care.
they get help from the media, so they don't need to, I guess.
Right.
The Republicans have to watch everything they do. They've got to watch their back every minute of every day because they're going to get hammered for the things that they say. Well, here's Temp on Tim on the Second Amendment.
I believe in the Second Amendment.
Sure you do.
But I also believe our first responsibility is to keep our kids safe.
Well, that's why there's a Second Amendment.
Thank you.
Moron.
That's what this is all about.
Is it?
The responsibility we have to our kids, to each other, and to the future that we're building together.
Anytime they start with, I'm a big believer. Of course I believe in the Second Amendment. But anytime that starts, you know they're not a big believer in the Second Amendment. And they're about to set fire to it.
I hunt.
Yeah.
I hunt. No one believes in the Second Amendment more than me. But
there is no but after that. You either do or you don't. There's no but. Yeah, and protecting our kids, that's a big part of the Second Amendment. That's why it's in place. So we can protect all of our loved ones and our country. And, yeah, gather food if necessary. I mean,
yeah.
But it's none of your business what you're doing with your gun.
Thank you.
As long as it's legal. Okay. Then he claims that that Republicans are going to jack up prices for the middle class. That's already been done.
They'll start jacking up the costs on the middle class. They'll repeal the Affordable Care Act.
No,
they'll gut
they had the chance
Social
to do
Security
that.
and Medicare. And they will ban abortion across this country with or without Congress.
I haven't.
Wow. Just lies.
I mean, just lies.
All of it lies.
Just lies. I mean, this whole thing, this whole ruse of tampon Tim is just a lie. The whole thing. And if not a lie, it's just misleading. The whole thing of misleading who this guy is.
And what Republicans are all about. They just keep lying about the Republican agenda. And they keep getting away with it. Night after night, they're fact-checked and shown for the liars they are, proven to be the liars, not by us, by their own media. Their own liberal sources are all saying, no, that's not right. And they keep saying it. Doesn't matter to them at all. The truth means nothing to the Democrats right now. So he lied again also about IVF in vitro fertilization.
We've got a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Which you certainly don't believe in, I'll tell you that.
Again, pause for a second. The only thing they want us to mind our business on is whether or not they're killing babies.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the only thing that we're supposed to mind our business. Everything else, they want to be all over you on it. They want to insist on what you put into your body with that vaccine. You must have that. Are you kidding me? Mind your own business. What car do you drive? Are you killing the environment? Seriously? Mind your own business. What kind of food are you eating? You're driving up healthcare costs. Mind your own business.
Did you post that meme? We're going to go take you to court for that.
Yeah.
Screw your freedom.
Yes, thank you.
And that was a supposed Republican who's just walking the Democrat walk right there.
That's for sure.
Wow.
All
right, let's let him finish here on this whole rant.
IVF and fertility treatments. And this is personal for Gwen and I.
Is it? He's pissed.
If you've never experienced the hell that is infertility, I guarantee you know somebody who has. And I can remember praying each night for a phone call. The pit in your stomach when the phone had rang, and the absolute agony when we heard the treatments hadn't worked. It took Gwen and I years, but we had access to fertility treatments. And when our daughter was born, we named her Hope.
Oh,
wow. That's so beautiful.
Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you.
And there it is.
I love you too, Dad. Again, misleading.
I'm letting you in.
With the IVF stuff.
Yeah, and nobody's trying to stop the IVF situation. Nobody.
No. But they didn't use the IVF stuff, and they've even talked about that.
They use some sort of fertility treatment, though, right?
Yes, they use it's called IUI that they used. So that's why he said IVF, fertility treatments. So he covered himself there, but he misleads again.
As always. Yeah, as always.
It's just, the guy is, I don't understand.
Then he tries to tell us that Kamala will cut our taxes.
Wait.
If you're a middle-class family or a family trying to get into the middle class, Kamala Harris is going to cut your taxes.
No, she's not. She's going to remove the Trump tax cuts.
Not a joke.
The Trump tax cuts were not for billionaires, although billionaires benefited as well. Why? Because everybody did. Every tax-paying person got a tax cut under the Trump plan. So when you remove that, you're going to hurt the middle class. Jeez. Oh, it's hard. It's a hard week to get through because these people are psychotic and communists. They're just hardcore Marxists.
Yes.
He also used his favorite phrase, mind your own damn business, a bunch of times. Here's another example of that.
We also protected reproductive freedom because in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make.
Yeah. Even if they're choosing to kill somebody.
If we wouldn't make those same choices for ourselves, we've got a golden rule.
I love that.
Mind your own damn business.
I can't stand this guy already.
Maybe you should follow the golden rule, Pat.
Maybe mind my own damn business.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't choose to kill Chris myself. That wouldn't be my choice.
No.
But I'm not going to stand in Jeffy's way
There you go.
kill Chris. If he wants to kill you, that's up to him. That's between you and him.
And I support that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
mind
You're
his own business.
Right.
I support
I want to
that.
mind my own damn business. It's none of my business whether he kills you or not. Unless he does it during the show, and then you've affected me a little bit.
Yeah,
but
right.
what we'll do is just move your carcass out of there
And put the next person.
Bring the next person. Next up, it's just like in football. Somebody goes down. Okay, it's the next up.
Wow, you're a coach now.
Yeah,
Coach.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right.
With the standards by Tim Walz. Yes, Pat is a coach.
This is amazing to watch. And it's, some people are buying it. I don't know how. I don't know why. How would you trust or believe these people? How would you do it? They lie about everything. And then they try to tell us that Donald Trump lies all the time. They lie about every single thing. Everything. It's amazing to watch. All right. In these crazy times, there is peace of mind and you get a little bit of security for our country, security for our leaders, and security for our families. But think about this. If you're not financially secure, if all your eggs are in one basket, that's not good. Gold and silver are an excellent way to diversify your savings. They're a hedge against inflation. They're a physical asset that is in high demand globally from the wealthy to central banks. And through my friends at Birch Gold Group, you can own physical gold and silver in a tax-sheltered retirement account. You can diversify an old IRA or 401k with no money out of pocket. And you can make that an IRA in gold or silver. This is one thing you can do to secure your family's savings. Text PAT to 989898, receive a free, no-obligation info kit, and learn the role and what precious metals can do for you in your overall savings strategy. Text PAT to 989898. They've got an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They've got thousands of happy customers. You can trust gold to Birch Gold like I do. Text PAT to 989898.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So Kamala's going to cut our taxes. She's going to mind her own business, which is great news because the next pandemic that comes around, they're not going to force you to get some sort of vaccination you don't want. Mind their own damn business. They're not going to tell you what car to drive. They're going to mind their own damn business. They won't tell you what food to eat, what's good for you and what's not. They won't try to push bugs on you from UN mandates. Don't worry about any of that. That's the point here.
Yes, it is.
We have to worry about all of that with this Freedom Party. It's pathetic. And the joy that is just bursting inside of me right now.
Is it? It's joy.
It's joy.
It's joy because
That's
we've
what
got
it is.
joy, 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 joy down in our hearts.
Yes.
Down in our hearts. I mean, that's all I have in my head today.
Well, that's good because that's how I'm feeling.
Good.
Walz also said health and housing are human rights.
That's how we'll build a country where workers come first. Healthcare and housing are human rights.
Oh. Wow. Everybody's got a right to housing.
Stays the hell out of your bedroom.
But not out of your healthcare or your housing situation.
Correct.
Okay? Just know that. He just set it up with the fact that government's going to intervene in health and housing, but they're going to stay out of your bedroom.
Are they?
No.
That's where they draw the line, the bedroom.
My gosh. That's so great. Then he had a pep talk for the DNC and America.
You know, you might not know it, but I haven't given a lot of big speeches like this. But I have given a lot of pep talks.
Have you? Have you, assistant coach?
Let me finish with this, team.
All right.
It's the fourth quarter. We're down a field goal, but we're on offense and we've got the ball. We're driving down the field. And boy, do we have the right team. Kamala Harris is tough. Kamala Harris is experienced, and Kamala Harris is ready. Our job for everyone watching is to get in the trenches and do the blocking and tackling. 1 inch at a time, 1 yard at a time, 1 phone call at a time, 1 door knock at a time, 1 $5 donation at a time.
Oh, wow, I dislike this guy.
Is that winning you over?
No.
Is that winning you over?
No, strangely, that didn't seem like a good pep talk to me.
Because I'm ready to.
That seemed like a warning talk to me.
Yes, it did.
It most definitely is.
Wow.
And by the way, Kamala was not there. She watched from her hotel room.
Why?
Well,
why
what
is
is the
she
deal with
not
that?
attending? That's again weird. Weird.
Now, some would say that if she's at the convention, she's unable to drink. I wouldn't say something like that.
No, because
I'd be wrong.
gosh, there's no evidence that she
I'd be wrong
ever
on that.
imbibes.
I don't want to do that.
But also, Nancy Pelosi spoke last night. We got Bill Clinton coming up to share. That's another treat. And Oprah Winfrey. Wasn't she great?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. That was, I guess she was a surprise edition?
She was, yeah. Everybody didn't. Nobody knew.
Interesting.
No one knew. So Oprah just showed up. I'm Oprah. Well, go on out there.
Somebody knew. She was scheduled. It just showed up. I thought, hey, do you have a place for me tonight? Yeah, sure. Go on out right now.
Go out. Get in here.
Go out right now.
Do you have a pass to get in the building or anything?
I guess the other night they were so jammed up with the cheering of the crowd that they had to cancel some artists.
Yes,
and
they did.
James Taylor was one of them.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he was gonna sing "You've Got a Friend," and they didn't have time for him. They made time for some other artist that I've never heard of. I'm sure others have, but it was some, I think, contemporary artist. It was somebody who's out today. But
James got the boot.
But James got the boot.
James got the boot.
Yeah.
Wow, he's been a card-carrying member.
Oh, he's a big-time lefty. And I really like his music, but man, is he impossible to listen to, speaking about politics. He's psychotic. But he loves what's going on at the DNC, and he was perfectly fine with being bumped out of the performance. Yeah.
Well,
he was
of course
fine.
he was. We also had Shapiro show up, and he had to, because he's been
they let a Jew into the building.
He's been
Wow.
de-Jewifying himself.
Has he?
I believe that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he showed up to talk about our freedoms.
Good.
We are the party of real freedom.
Are you?
That's right. The kind of real freedom that comes when that child has a great public school with an awesome teacher because we believe in her future.
So you've allowed the child to live long enough to go to
Real
school?
freedom.
Yeah.
Real
Okay.
freedom that
All right, I
comes
got it.
when we invest in the police and in the community so that child can walk to and from school and get home safely to
So
her
you're
mama.
not trying to defund police anymore? Is that...
Real freedom that comes when she can join a union, marry who she loves, start a family on her own terms, breathe clean air, drink pure water, worship how she wants, and live a life of purpose where she is respected for who she is.
Is that not happening in our world?
Seems like it is. Seems like
Seriously,
it.
is that? I mean, where is that not happening?
Middle East. It's not happening in the Middle East.
Yeah, right,
Is he
right.
running for office there?
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so. I know, and you know, I saw where what's his face, Polis, Governor Polis, reminded us that we're not weirdos.
Oh,
Which that means that you are.
yeah.
Governor.
Democrats welcome weird, but we're not weirdos.
We welcome weird.
Uh-huh.
We welcome weird, Pat.
Oh, it's strange then that they've, disparaged J.D. Vance as a weirdo.
They sure do.
And being weird. If you welcome it, then you should be excited.
They sure do.
About J.D. Vance.
Tampon Tim was, attacked him again, which I don't quite understand. So Tim, claims that he's from the small town in Nebraska, and he said that, and I don't know if we have the cut, but it doesn't matter. He just said that he had 24 people in his high school, and none of them went to Yale. And he's trying to make it seem like J.D. Vance is a bad guy for
going to Yale,
for being poor and working his way up to go to Yale. I mean, that's just telling. I don't understand it. To me, that's just telling people in your own party you can't get better.
Yeah, and one of the speakers last night was Yale graduate Bill Clinton.
What
the hell? When did Yale become?
I don't know. I don't understand
such a bad thing.
I don't understand it. He's said that before.
Weird.
Where he's trying to make it.
He's trying to make it. Yeah,
a weird thing.
Right.
That J.D. Vance pulled himself up from being poor.
Yeah.
And going to school at Yale and made a better life for him and his family.
As a hillbilly, he somehow went to Yale. Somehow became successful. Somehow succeeded in life.
Right.
And came from a really poor background. And I guess that's a bad thing now.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because it's a bad thing that he succeeded. It's not a bad thing that he came from this small town. But if you came from a small town in Nebraska, you didn't make it anyway. You're just a worthy lowlife, and we don't care about you. I don't understand it. Really, honestly, I don't understand what comes of that.
Nothing good.
I know.
Nothing good comes from any of this Democrat Party, the party of joy, except the joy.
Oh, yeah, the joy.
The joy is
The
really,
joy.
well, it's joyful joy, I think.
Bill was trying to tell us that everyone was happy last night, too, and he was, former President Clinton. And, man, he could barely spit it out. He didn't believe what he was saying. It's ridiculous.
Do you know he's spoken at every DNC convention since 1976?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's right, because he said
That's really something.
He wasn't be around much longer, right? He didn't know if he
Well, he didn't know how long.
Yeah. Because he's just a spring chicken compared to Trump.
We haven't seen him in a while, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that was the Me Too movement. I think they were pretty ashamed of him for a little while, but now the shame is kind of faded into the background, and I've been dredge him back up and put him out there. He speaks at all these things. Don't worry about how he treated women. Just put him in there.
Don't worry about that Epstein Island stuff.
Whatever. Don't worry about it.
He's dead. Delane's in jail. We're fine.
We will share some of his comments last night, as well as Nancy Pelosi and Oprah Winfrey. Coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Thank heaven, one more night of madness, and then we're done with it.
I don't know that I could stand any more joy.
Oh, I know. It's so joyous, so joyful that I am filled to overflowing with it. And that's the problem, really. Just too much joy, There's just too much.
I know.
So joyful last night was Nancy Pelosi when she mentioned that we've got to choose leaders who believe in fair elections.
The parable of January 6th reminds us that our democracy is only as strong as the courage and commitment of those entrusted with its care. We must choose leaders who believe in free and fair elections, who respect the peaceful transfer of power.
Right.
Picture wig.
Right.
The choice couldn't be clearer.
That's for sure.
Those leaders are Vice President Harris and Governor Walz.
No, that's not the choice. No, pumpkin. No.
When the sun rose on January 7th, as our national anthem
pause it,
declares,
and all those dead bodies were laying there. Remember that? Do you remember the piles of dead police officers and leftists and politicians? It was just piles and piles of dead bodies. You couldn't even count them. There were too many. We don't know if it was 700,000, if it was 7 million. We don't know.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
They counted them with the metric system. I don't know why they did that. So there's no way to tell how many dead there were.
Huh.
Yeah, but there were too many to count in the standard way of counting. So they used the metric. Right. Yeah. Right. So the piles of dead bodies, I'll never forget when the sun rose and shone on all the piles of bodies. It's really sad. Really sad. So thanks for this reminder, Nancy. She had more.
As our national anthem declares, we gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Was that powerful? She knows the words of that? Really?
That's in the teleprompter.
Now, in this election, we are called upon to do the same.
Do the same.
To stand together.
Stand together.
To reject autocracy.
Oh, my God.
To choose democracy. And we will do so by electing a Democratic House with Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House.
Oh, please, no.
Electing a Democratic Senate, electing Tim Walz as Vice President of the United States, and electing Kamala Harris as the President of the United States. Onward to victory!
Well, if we do that, that will end us. You'll have your democracy because the republic will crumble.
And she believes in free and fair elections, except when we need someone to be our nominee.
Right.
Then we're just going to put him in place. Don't worry about that. We're just going to push the president out. The guy that got votes, he's gone.
He's gone.
Tell him to kick him to the curb.
Right. And we're not going to start a process where we allow you to vote for anybody.
No.
Which is what they should be doing this week.
Absolutely. That's what the convention is for.
Should be an open convention trying to find your nominee. Not telling people this is our nominee. You don't get to vote on this. You have no say in it. And I want you to be joyful about it.
Yeah.
Weirdest
Take what we're giving
thing.
you.
It's incredible. She had more, though. She said that Biden, and she said this before, but he's one of the most successful presidents in modern times.
On January 20th, 2021, with the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we established one of the most successful presidencies of modern times.
Did we?
And then, of course, the obligatory January 6th garbage.
More?
January 6th was a perilous moment for our democracy. Never before had a president of the United States so brazenly assaulted the bedrock of our democracy, so gleefully embraced political violence, so willfully
which you didn't do
his
any of
oath
this.
of office.
Didn't do
Let
any of
us
it.
not forget who assaulted democracy on January 6th.
No one?
He did. But let us not forget who saved democracy that day.
And who was that?
We did.
Well, how? Wait,
Oh,
what?
my gosh.
How did you...
And thank God we had a Democratic House of Representatives then.
Yeah, okay. I can't take it.
Wow.
That's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible. And notice how many times they hammer the democracy, the non-existent democracy talk. So you just, after a while, just accept it.
You sure do.
It's saved our democracy. Good thing. No, we don't have a democracy to save. Don't accept that. Because once they've gotten us this comfortable with it, then they just slide in the democratic socialism. Don't worry about that. But it's what Lenin did in the beginning of communism in the Soviet Union, because he knew people were going to be freaked out about communism. So he called it democratic socialism. We still have a democracy here. Don't worry about it. Huh. It's exactly what they're doing to us.
You can just mind your own damn business.
Yeah,
what you can do.
Right. Wow. And then the former rock star of the party, Bill Clinton, showed up, and he got a standing ovation.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I thought he'd bring a saxophone along. Play a little ditty.
At least he's got a little dignity. You know, it's not like Timmy Walz.
That's true.
Tampon Tim comes out.
No, he's a former president, man. He's got to come out like that. Yeah, absolutely.
He comes out with dignity.
You're right there. Yes.
And then he starts to speak, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's why I can't stand this guy.
That's right.
That's right. Now I remember.
Still,
absence makes the heart grow fonder. But still, he's better than these alternatives, this new Democrat Party. Wow.
But he sold out to them, so.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he and Kankles both have sold out for them. So.
Yeah, big time. He bragged about being younger than Trump last night.
Now let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
I am too old to gill the lily. 2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family before generations.
Okay. That's great, Bill.
And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
Oh, that's fantastic, Bill. That's really funny. Okay. Let me remind you, I did not have sex with that woman. Okay, yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did, but never mind. Okay.
So if he's younger than Trump, that means he's younger than Joe Biden as well. Well, we didn't mention that. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's not about Joe Biden. He's not running. Never mind.
Yeah, you can't mention Biden, but he did.
He did.
He did for some reason. And
I know that. That was persona non grata, I thought.
Yeah, but he loves Obama and he loves Biden.
After the last 2 days, aren't you proud to be a Democrat?
Oh, my gosh.
And I am very grateful to the Republicans and independents that have joined us, have been up here on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they feel better about it now.
They don't.
I don't see how they could. But
I've seen all these things that even I have to be reminded of from time to time when I get my spirits down.
Yeah, what's that, Bill?
I love seeing the Obamas here. I love seeing President Biden.
And that seemed sincere, didn't it? That was powerful.
I thought Hillary gave a great speech, too. And I love it.
They let that pass. I don't know. They let that slide through the old teleprompter gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. Then he claims he compares Joe Biden to somebody pretty special.
And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power.
Pause it. Is there a single person in this country that believes that? That he voluntarily gave up political power? He was forced out. Everybody knows it.
Yes.
He got the boot from Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, George Soros, everybody.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, everybody who's influential in that party made him leave because his intention was to stay. Don't tell me he voluntarily left.
All his friends. You mentioned what's her face, Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, Chucky,
stabbed him in the back.
All of them.
All of them. Yep. He was on the Senate steps in Rome, and they all came behind him with knives.
They sure did.
And each of them jammed one into his back. Every single one of them. All of the elites in Washington, D.C. turned on this guy and forced him out of office. The last thing in the world he was going to do was get out of this race.
Was voluntarily step down.
Not volunteer, and everybody knows it. Don't try to give me this. He's some George Washington figure, but let him finish. Oh.
And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power.
No, he sure didn't. No.
Yeah.
It's a bald-faced lie. Everybody knows it.
George Washington knew that, and he did it.
Yeah, that's true.
And he set the standard for us serving 2 terms before it was mandatory.
Wait, what?
It helped his legacy.
Which a Democrat
and it will
violated.
enhance Joe Biden's legacy.
FDR was the first to violate that legacy and that standard that George Washington set. And it was a Democrat who didn't give a rat's ass about it.
Right.
Jeez. Oh, man. The way they change history in real time.
Right in front of you.
Pretty amazing. Then he had this to say. One reason we want Kamala is because we're all happy.
Yeah.
What?
This is what I was talking about earlier. He can't even get this out. I mean, he doesn't even believe it. Not a second of it.
Brutal, tough business.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be happy. One of the reasons that President-to-be Harris is doing so well is that we're all so happy.
What?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy about the 30% extra I'm paying in groceries. I'm happy about paying 50% more at the gas pump. I'm happy about my electricity bills going skyrocketing. I'm so
happy.
darned happy. Okay. Here's some other highlights from Bill.
2 days ago, I turned 78. The oldest
we already
man
did
in
this
my
part.
family.
But there's more. I want to get to his pronunciation of Kamala.
Vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump. Kamala Harris is the only candidate in this race.
It's Camel with an A. I think do we have a shorter version of this? Cut 21. Play this.
Ask for their help and then follow our leader, Kamala. And we need Kamala Harris.
We need Kamala Harris. I thought that was a racist thing.
It that way
and demeaning.
Yeah,
we were told you couldn't mispronounce your name like that.
Yeah, you can't even say Kamala.
Right,
but he can pronounce it Kamala.
Ask for their help and then follow. Our leader.
Kamala.
We need Kamala Harris.
Why is he pronouncing it like that?
Because he forgot.
Why?
He forgot.
But he's a racist, though.
He's a racist.
He's a racist,
According to the left, that's being racist.
Right. And he's demeaning to women. We know that.
Right. Kamala. All right. Okay. Here he is on the jobs created since 1989. Going back a ways.
You're going to have a hard time believing this, but so help me, I triple-checked it.
Oh, well, okay then.
Since the end of the Cold War in 1989, America has created about 51 million new jobs. I swear I checked this 3 times. Even I couldn't believe it. What's the score? Democrats 50, Republicans 1.
Oh, shut up! Oh, come on!
He checked it 3 times, Pat.
Well, if he triple checked
it 3 times.
It's got to be true then. It's got to be. He'd never lie about anything, right?
Thank you.
He'd never lie.
I'm glad
Oh, jeez.
that we've got
I can't. Yeah, shut him up. I can't listen to it.
I mean, we already know that they lied about the numbers. These last reports, right? They just
yes, which is what I wanted to talk about
Yeah.
here. Is that they overstated the amount of jobs that they've created by a tiny margin. 818,000 jobs.
Wait, hold up.
In fact, by some accounts and some stories I've read, said it's 915,000. That's almost 1 million jobs. So close. So very close. What did you want? An exact number? Is that what you wanted them to report? I mean, Trump overstated the value of some of his holdings in New York and was charged, put on trial, and convicted for it. But hey, lying about our job creation, that's close to an extra 1 million jobs you're claiming, that's absolutely fine. That didn't hurt anybody. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it. I mean,
so they claimed almost 1 million more jobs than they actually created in the last year. That's incredible.
Correct.
Incredible.
And they had, what's her face, Gina Raimondo, who works for the administration. She, well, play her clip. Cut 51, if we have that, Gina, who isn't even familiar with the Bureau of Labor.
Okay. Number 51, Gina Raimondo.
We don't have it? Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll get to it. But they were questioning her about those numbers.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't believe it. And the host was like, that's the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Really? She actually said she doesn't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, my gosh. The worst.
Terrible.
I mean, seriously, you wouldn't believe this stuff unless you were here to experience it every single day.
And the one reporter actually reported those numbers and then it wasn't my fault. Gosh darn it.
Was the calculator broken?
Yeah, I looked at it. I shouldn't have reported it, but I did. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Maybe they use the metric system, so there's no way to tell. There's no way to tell how many jobs were actually created. It's in metric numbers, so no wonder. No wonder.
Zero.
Well, that explains it right there.
Yeah.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Been going over the big Democrat National Convention last night and some of the speakers. I guess some of the Democrats didn't appreciate digging up Bill Clinton for the convention. S.E. Cupp, for one, who I guess is a Democrat operative now.
The one that used to work here?
Yeah. S.E. Cupp.
What?
Yep. It's kind of weird, isn't it? There's been a couple people that when they've left here, they've sort of taken on the whole feel of their employer.
Yes, they have.
And
yes,
she's definitely one of them. It's very, very interesting.
It is interesting.
But she actually said that that the Democrats should quit former President Clinton. Just interesting. I remember a theme along those lines years ago. I wish I knew how to quit you, but I can't. I just can't. Brokeback President 2024. Now playing at the Democratic National Convention for one final night tonight. Wish I knew how to quit you, Bill. I just can't. But
that's awesome.
S.E.'s point was that Hillary Clinton spoke and it was fiery. Clearly an opportunity for her to needle at Donald Trump, the guy who beat her, and I think it played. The audience obviously loved it, but Bill Clinton speaks, and all I have to say about that is Why? For a Democratic Party looking to the future, this man has not been president for more than 2 decades. Yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah, it is.
And when he did things that Democrats would now revile, she said, he was responsible for things like don't ask, don't tell, welfare reform. She said, I mean, Bill Clinton would be a Republican today. But it's worse than that. It's worse. Bill Clinton's problematic. Then she started talking about the Lewinsky thing.
Right.
And claimed, listen, Democrats, you can quit Bill Clinton. That's allowed. You're allowed to quit him. Isn't it time to leave him behind?
I mean, I would be happy to make the argument that it's time to quit both of them.
Yes, Bill and Hillary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they both ride off into the sunset.
They have successfully quit Al Gore. Why can't they do it with Bill and Hillary? It's definitely time.
I mean, they didn't even drag out John Kerry.
Right.
There's another powerful leader for the Democratic Party that's
they've left behind. They quit him.
And while he's a doofus, he didn't have any Me Too issues that I'm aware of. Right. I mean, he was. Yeah. He's their climate change guy.
Yeah. Right. I
mean, that's all he believes in.
Yeah. So tonight is going to be a big night. You probably don't need to mark your calendar for this, like the copy claims, because it's tonight. Hopefully you can remember.
Well, no, write it down. Put it on.
Yeah, put it on you.
Write it down. Yes.
Set a reminder.
You won't want to miss the big final night while the elites at the DNC are busy, patting themselves on the back in their so-called official and dignified event. Blaze Media is doing what we do best, and that's calling out the absurdity of it all with some good old-fashioned truth-telling and maybe a little roasting. 9 p.m. sharp, Blaze News Tonight is going live and commercial-free with a roast session to follow. And there's a powerful lineup for you. You can hear from Glenn. Of course, Glenn will be sticking around. And, he's late into the evening tonight. And then there's the big roast featuring Dave Landau, Alex Stein, Sarah Gonzalez, Stu Bergier, and Bridget Fatassi together. So we'll be counting how many cocktails Kamala's had, or Kamala, however you want to. Kamala.
Ways. They're both going to be there.
Kamala, they'll all be there. And the results will be hilarious. That's tonight, 9 o'clock. It's going to be fun. One that Blaze Media can cover the right way. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and join us as we take on the drunk, narcissistic cacklers. What? You mean the joyful people?
Yeah.
No. The joyful people.
Kamala's going to be there.
Yeah, Kamala will be there.
Kamala's going to be there.
Yes, all of them.
And Bridget
Fatassi. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was Fatassi.
Oh, it's Fatassi?
Sorry.
Oh, it is Is it Fatassi?
Sorry.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Bridget.
Bridget.
Brenda, Bridget. Fatassi? It's not Fatassi.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
But she's going to be there, though. Okay. Maybe they're both going to be there. I don't know.
Should I know Bridget Fatassi?
Well, I mean, she's been on the network.
Has she?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Glenn's had
No, but don't you watch? I mean, don't you read your Playboys? Because she was
That's
such
a
a
good point. That's where she got her start, was writing for Playboy.
No, you don't write. Oh,
I don't.
Because I get them for the articles, and
So
she
was a writer for
for
not
Playboy.
a poser.
No,
a writer. Okay.
Yeah, no, she was not a poser.
Okay.
Or model.
So Bridget Fatassi.
That's correct.
Will be part of the festivities to mock Kamala. So that's good. All right. Good. I'm excited about it. And that's all happening tonight. The phonies have one more night in the spotlight.
I mean, she's going to speak tonight, finally.
She's going to be there tonight, finally.
Right.
I don't know why she hasn't been there the whole time.
What is that deal?
She keeps not showing up at the event. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and then yesterday, instead of watching her husband's speech, she stayed in the plane, it's being reported, for an extra 15 minutes.
Which is really good for the environment, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, which she believes in.
Oh, big time.
Green New Deal.
In fact, to the point where she's for the Green New Deal.
I mean, I don't know this, but she flies in Air Force Two, right? I mean, she's
Yes.
the vice president of the United States of America right now, officially. So when Air Force Two lands, is the Wi-Fi just cut out?
Wi-Fi. Under 30,000
the Wi-Fi
feet,
just
no
cut
Wi-Fi.
out? I mean, we just
like
lose
it would on a commercial flight.
We just done? We have to shut it down?
Yeah, when you go below 10,000 feet, you lose the internet.
You lose the internet,
I mean,
yeah.
Come on now.
So that's
you gotta
why
think about it. She has to buckle up, put the tray table up.
Come on now.
You know, pass the trash to the air waitress.
Stop it.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to interrupt.
Don't want to do that. No, you can't do that.
If that's actually, I mean, come on now. We're in trouble if that's the case.
Oh, man. All right. Is there anybody else worth these? Hakeem Jeffries talks about Joe Biden going down as one of the most consequential presidents.
Yeah, that one is the same as Nancy Pelosi. So if you want to pick the best one, for me, the best one will be number 30 and
Quotes
number
the Book of
29.
Okay. Let's do cut 30
29
with
and 30, all right.
Hakeem Jeffries quoting the Book of Psalms.
In the Old Testament, Book of Psalms, the scripture tells us that weeping may endure during the long night, but joy will come in the morning.
Man.
Here's how we do it.
So bad.
Strategize on Sunday. Meet the moment on Monday. Take it to them on Tuesday. Work it out on Wednesday. Thank the Lord on Thursday. Fight the power on Friday. Set it off on Saturday. Get a few hours of sleep. Wake up the next day and do it all over again until joy comes in the morning.
We've got joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Yeah. Amen.
Jeez.
These people, man.
That's the worst I've ever seen. The worst convention I have ever seen.
These people.
The mockery of quoting scripture when, if that was, anybody in the Republican Party, they'd be all over that. Separation of church and state. It's politics and religion. Shut up. But it's fine for them. It's perfectly fine. They do this when it's convenient for them, just like they quote the Constitution when it's convenient for them and their agenda. Except they don't know either the Bible nor the U.S. Constitution, so it never makes sense when they try to do it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's pathetic. But he also said the Democrats will always put people over politics. Sure.
Oh.
Seen that a million.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats will always put people over politics.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats will lower costs and grow the middle class.
Why haven't you done that then? Why?
And House Democrats will fix our broken immigration system.
Wait, why haven't they done that already?
Kamala Harris and House Democrats will strengthen the relationship between the police and the community.
While they're trying to defund
Kamala
the police?
Harris
Are
and
you
House
serious?
Democrats will continue to combat the climate crisis with the fierce urgency of now.
While they fly in their private jets wherever they go.
Will protect Social Security, protect Medicare.
There's another thing.
Protect Medicaid, protect the
Nobody's
Affordable
trying to
Care
take
Act,
that away from you.
protect working
Nobody.
families, protect small businesses.
Okay, I can't.
Oh, my
Just
gosh.
Stop.
Oh, my gosh.
The Social Security thing is agonizing. Nobody is talking about cutting or removing Social Security or Medicare. No one is talking about that. They're trying to make that a pillar of Project 25 and trying to tie Donald Trump, who's already disassociated himself with it. He had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. We talked to Lara Trump the other day. She reinforced the fact he had nothing to do with it.
And the guy who came up with 2025 stepped down.
Yeah.
So that was a strange thing around that project as well. I'm not sure I understood that. Hakeem also went on to talk about how Donald Trump is like the old boyfriend.
Which brings me to you know who. Donald Trump is like an old boyfriend who you broke up with, but he just won't go away. He has spent the last 4 years spinning the block, trying to get back into a relationship with the American people. Bro,
and he has.
We broke up with you for a reason.
Oh, gosh.
Not even jokes land when
I know.
No, they have the contrived jokes, the punchlines. They just, none of them work.
Well, they're making up issues. They're contriving situations and scenarios, and they're just fake frauds. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Just fakey frauds.
Really, the whole house is built on a house of lies.
Yes, it is.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like Kamala's appearance at the Primanti Brothers in Pittsburgh the other day.
Right.
Which I love. I love Primanti Brothers. I've eaten there a few times, and they have the best sandwiches on the planet.
How happy
really
would you be to get kicked out of there for her people?
I'd be very unhappy.
And they were.
Yeah, that would not cause joy for me.
Right.
Yeah,
it's all fake.
They were really outraged on Monday when they were forced to leave before Harris and Walz arrived for a campaign stop. Several people who were enjoying their food and drinks and the Pirates game on TV at Primanti Brothers, were all forced out of the restaurant promptly at 4 p.m. Mark Dodson of Collier, who said he was just in the area to enjoy the Bucks, as the Pirates are nicknamed, simply wanted a quiet day. Wanted to watch some sports and enjoy an afternoon. And around 3:30, he says, the bartender, she says, "It's last call." And he's like, "What do you mean it's last call?" Then they shut down the TV. So you couldn't watch the game.
Not saying you have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right. Closing time. Wait, it's 4 p.m. It's closing time? So he said, this is BS. It's a public restaurant. It was kind of mind-boggling to me. Said, ultimately, the last real patron to leave was him. And when he reached his car, it was the only one left in the parking lot. And he noticed a growing presence of protesters lining up on the other side of the road, many in pro-Trump attire. And so they just kicked everybody out, and the Kamala people came in so that they could do this, Photoshop, I guess, this photo opportunity, and pretend like this was just a real event at another popular place in, in America.
They're just everyday people. That's what they did. They had to re-record their just everyday people at the Sheetz
gas station,
convenience store. They had to redo that, pretending like they're just everyday people, which they are not.
The call that they did between Kamala,
the call
was fake.
Yep.
We all knew that it was fake.
The Doritos was fake.
We all knew the call was fake. Then they admitted it because in their little talk, you didn't even answer the phone when I called.
Forgetting apparently that they tried to pull that off as spontaneous.
Right.
Despite the fact that they had camera people on both ends of the phone
never
call.
met. They never met before until like 2 days before that.
But they were just at Primanti Brothers for that really delicious ham and cheese sandwich that's about 3 inches thick.
Oh, that looks so good.
That's the only reason.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I've enjoyed it.
But it's all fake. It
absolutely is
fake.
Completely all fake.
All right. So here's Oprah on decency and respect being on the ballot this year.
Decency and respect are on the ballot in 2024.
Ozempic looks good on Oprah.
This is better than she's ever looked.
Yeah, she looks great. That's why Weight Watchers kicked her to the curb.
Just plain common sense.
Are you serious? Common sense. Just plain common sense. Which they have none of. Which they don't exercise at all.
And preaching her and Michelle both preaching their equity and everybody's equal. Yeah, how is that? How is that everyone's equal?
And she talks about the hardships. We'll play a little bit more of her coming up here in a minute. First, let me tell you about all this. We know about the inflation that's hitting us hard. You go to the grocery store and it costs double or even triple what you were paying under Trump. It's absolutely insane. Americans are struggling at the grocery store with their health care costs. And do you remember the theme that Obamacare was supposed to lower costs by an average of $2,500 for every single family? What happened to that? Well, that's why there's Lassie Health. LAASY. It's not health insurance. It's access to the health care you want without all the red tape, restrictions, and inflated costs. And it starts at just $30 a month. Lassie Health offers transparent pricing and comprehensive coverage tailored to your needs. For only $30 a month, you get over 400 prescription medications free unlimited virtual mental health counseling, free 24/7 virtual urgent care, lab tests that cost up to 60% off, imaging tests up to 75% off, and procedures and surgeries over 50% off.
Awesome.
Plus, you can get plans that include vision, dental, the primary care, comprehensive health care coverage. People are saving thousands on everything from MRI scans to ER visits and hospital stays. And if you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol or maybe diabetes, these aren't considered pre-existing conditions if you haven't been hospitalized for them in the last 12 months before you enroll. This is such a great deal. It's Lassie Health. It's a game changer for you. Check out the affordable plans that put you in control of your health care at healthylink.com/Pat. For a limited time, you can get your first month free. That's up to $100 off eligible plans. So take charge of your health without breaking the bank. Visit healthylink.com/Pat today.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. A couple other highlights of what, or lowlights, depending on your point of view, of what Oprah said last night.
We are Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We are Americans.
We are.
Let us choose loyalty to the Constitution over loyalty to any individual.
That's rich coming from Democrats, isn't it?
That is.
That's incredible.
Because that's the best of America.
Uh-huh.
And let us choose optimism over cynicism.
Oh, yeah.
Because
they're not cynical at all about the future if Donald Trump is elected.
That's the best of America.
Because that's the best of America.
And let us choose inclusion over retribution.
Oh,
let us choose common sense.
Common sense.
Over nonsense.
There's the line. There it is.
They wouldn't know common sense if it bit their face off. They wouldn't know it. They don't understand common sense. They have no relationship with the concept at all. Ugh.
Because that's the best of America.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow over the bitter return to yesterday. We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back.
Okay. Yeah.
Not going back.
Not going back.
Not going back.
We're not going back.
They're not going back. So
let us choose. Let us choose.
Please, let's do
truth.
Uh-huh.
Let us choose honor.
Oh.
And let us choose
You kidding me?
joy.
I mean, that's just cringy bad.
Because that's the best
So
of
bad.
America.
And it gets
But
worse.
more than anything
Listen
else,
to this
let
ending.
us choose freedom. Why?
Why?
Because that's the best of America.
Oh.
We're all Americans, and together, let's all choose Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
really, does anyone... I remember my grandfather telling me about the Oprah Winfrey Show and how she used to yell like that. So I guess,
yeah,
we're supposed to all remember that.
Yes.
She still have a show? Is it still on? What was it?
I don't think so.
Oxygen
She
or
was
whatever?
doing-
What was
no,
her
she-
network
no.
called?
She was-
Oxygen,
Oh?
right?
Oh yeah, but she was doing special interviews and all that stuff.
And she's not doing that anymore, right?
She had a contract with Apple TV.
Yeah, it was Apple, right?
Yeah, it was Apple TV, but it's all done now.
It's done?
I haven't seen anything
it's been a
from
minute.
her. Yeah.
Huh.
The last thing that they did was with the Royals, Jeffy, with Meghan and Harry.
Oh, right. That was her last interview.
That was her last interview that I can remember.
And then she took some heat because she tried to help the Maui people.
Yes, with The Rock.
For the Maui fires.
Yeah.
Right, with The Rock. And she's been pretty quiet since then.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
And then she was a big time investor and board member and commercial maker for Weight Watchers. And then
had to drop out of that.
Had to go away because of the admission of Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, hey.
Boy, it's worked for her big time, though.
She looks great.
She looks
great.
better than I've ever seen her look.
She looks awesome.
Amazing what
really
$2-3 billion can do for a person.
Yeah. Well, she talked about her incredible struggle and, the racism that she's encountered. And
Oprah's 70 now?
It seems like
she's 70.
you're doing pretty well with $2.7 billion. What a hateful nation that you've only been allowed to earn that sort of living.
Right.
With homes all over the world, the most famous, one of the richest black women in the world, adored by millions.
All races.
Yeah. We're hateful. Here.
Yeah.
We're just we're filled with hate and racism in this country.
And, there's how many white people would close their door in Oprah's face if she was at the front door?
None.
No one.
Zero. Absolute zero.
It's just ridiculous.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
You know what's been great about the Democrats lately are these really organic, natural settings that they let us in on the inside.
Yes.
And you just happen to watch things unfold.
Yes.
As they're doing, well, for instance, a stop at a convenience store for Doritos. Just the everyday stuff that we all do that we can relate to so well.
Not just any Doritos, nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese Doritos. Yeah. And those are hard to find. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 different efforts to make it happen.
It's terrible. It's
terrible. And people, not just efforts, different people.
Right.
You just walk in and go, the chips are over there.
And how many of us have called somebody and they're not there? And then, so what you do is you send a camera person to their house.
A crew.
So that, you get a whole crew, and then you edit it all together, and then you make it look like that's your first. I do that every day.
Every day.
Don't
forget, we forgot to mention, remember the Obama call?
Obama call, yes.
It was so natural.
It was. Hey, thank you for calling me, Barack and Michelle. How are you today?
It was so natural.
What a weird coincidence that you have a film crew there filming you on the other end of this line.
Oh, just
As
terrible.
I am also being filmed on the end of this line.
Just terrible. Yeah, no, Barack didn't let the cameras in, though. We'll say, let's be clear about that. I mean, Barack was like, "Ooh, no, I'm going to make the call. You can call me, and you can do whatever you need to do on your end." But Michelle and I are not letting the cameras in.
So bogus, though. And then
absolutely.
Then we got the inside look at Ella Emhoff.
So they're in the hotel room, I guess, or their suite, or wherever they're staying.
These are the children of the second gentleman.
Correct. And he's going to speak, and he did, and we'll get to a clip from him speaking. But this is prior to his speech, and the kids are just naturally want to post a live stream about what it's
all
like.
organic.
Yeah.
This is my sister, Ella Emhoff. Ella, what do you think about your dad these days?
I think he's a very empowering person, and I think we're really going to see that with his speech, which I feel like I'm going to cry. I just have a little feeling.
Is it as weird to you as it is to me, turning the news on and seeing his goofy face on live television?
I don't think that'll ever be normal,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that even like seeing Kamala on TV, it's like they're my parents. They're just Doug and Kamala.
Did Doug just show up?
USA.
Oh my gosh, he's there.
Oh gosh, oh look at that. He just happened to come in while they're talking about him.
Dad, how are you feeling about
what are the odds?
How you feeling about the speech?
Oh, he feels great.
Really?
Really?
I've worked really hard on this.
He's worked really hard. I bet you
The
have.
words are good. I just need to deliver them.
Okay.
For her.
Get justice for her.
Yeah. I can
You're
relate.
gonna kill it.
I just want to make sure that
Edit. Yeah, edit.
It reflects
how we all feel about her.
Yeah.
And what
Well,
she's doing
you
for
didn't
all of
reflect
us.
how I feel about her, which kind of bothers me. But
She needs me to help her win this election.
Oh, okay.
We all need her to do that.
Yeah.
I think she
That's why
can
we
do
gotta
it.
vote.
Wow, that was so natural.
Right? Only
Just a
Best dad in the
3 or
whole
4
world.
edits.
little slice of life there.
Yeah.
Okay.
family.
Wow. What a coincidence. Dad just showed up. Isn't that wonderful? Oh,
It's like it was meant to be.
I know.
It was
like
like it was meant to be.
I know.
It was.
What an amazing coincidence. Just right at the right time it happened, too. That's great.
He spoke, which was agonizing. But one of the things that he spoke about was he had to, he brought to the forefront his divorce. Before, this is, obviously
Before Kamala, obviously.
Yeah.
I got married, became a dad to Cole and Ella. Unfortunately, went through a divorce. But eventually started worrying about how I would make it all work.
Yeah. Eventually, you got a divorce.
Eventually, after I was, sleeping with the nanny, my wife took exception to that, I guess. I don't know.
Things got out of hand.
Such a stickler. What? You don't want me to have sex with the nanny now all of a sudden? Where'd that come from?
It was reported that she got pregnant as well.
Sure did.
I don't know. I don't know that actually is true because they were trying to verify that that she had an abortion.
Yeah.
But after their affair, she went away. So they're just I don't know. I don't know. But the point is that and then I got a divorce.
Just eventually it just happened.
To do what was best for me.
Right. Dang it.
What was best for me was banging the nanny.
Right.
Beautifully
put.
The wife was home with the 2 kids.
Such fantastic words from Fisher.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's really lovely. Thank you for putting it so delicately. That's great. Again, these people.
Oh, they're the worst. They're just the worst.
These are just terrible people doing things in a very terrible way. Do you think this is good? Do you think we're being tricked by any of this? This is all natural and organic? No. We're not that stupid. But they're trying to give us these little slice of life behind the scenes thing. And it's just so important for them to do that, to show that they're just regular people. They're not elites that are just making decisions and lying to your face. That's not what they are.
No.
I don't know where you're getting that. It's pretty.
It's incredible.
Incredible to see.
We also missed Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, who spoke at the DNC. Let's do before we do what she talked about at the DNC. I want to remind you who she is because she spoke on an interview. I don't know when this was. This is when the drag queen controversy was so hot and heavy. And she went out on a limb here in this interview and talked about how important drag queens were.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, what's not a problem for kids who are seeking a good education? Drag queens. Okay? Let me say this.
No, that's
drag
not okay.
Queens, not only are they not hurting our kids, drag queens make everything better.
What?
Drag queens are fun. Drag queens are entertainment. And you know what I'll say that was totally not poll tested? I say this, a drag queen for every school. That is what would be fun for kids and lift them up when they're having emotional issues.
My gosh. Again.
I know.
These are psychotic people.
Very psychotic. And she was even more psychotic speaking at the DNC.
Jeez.
By the way, I got a message for the Republicans and the justices of the United States Supreme Court. You can pry this wedding band from my cold, dead, gay hand.
Who wants to do that?
No one.
Who said, hey, you know what we need to do is pry that wedding ring right off her finger.
And I'm retaining a lot of water, so good luck with that.
Again, they can't deliver a joke.
They can't deliver a joke.
They can't deliver a joke.
They can't deliver the line. And it's not funny.
It's not.
It's just not funny.
All right. Americans are tired and frustrated by a stalling economy. We got inflation going on, endless wars, relentless assaults on our values. You just saw numerous examples of that. Thankfully, there are companies like Patriot Mobile that still believe in America and our Constitution. That's why I'm so proud to partner with Patriot Mobile, because they're on the front lines fighting for the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, our military and first responder heroes. Take a stand for conservative causes. Put America first by switching to Patriot Mobile today. You'll get the same nationwide coverage. I mean, it's one thing to compromise the quality of your service for your values, but you don't have to do that. It's another thing when it's just as good, if not better service, and you're going to get better customer care, and you're going to be covered as far as what the providers do for you, because it's the same stuff that you're getting right now. And 100% U.S.-based customer service they'll find you the best plan for your needs. You can keep your number if you want. You can keep your phone if you want, or you could upgrade. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. Right now, you'll get a free month when you use the offer code PAT. Don't get fooled by other providers pretending to share your values or have the same coverage. They don't, and they can't. So join me. Make the switch to America's only Christian conservative mobile provider, Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT for your free month of service today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So Nancy Pelosi where was she when? Oh, it was the Colbert interview. Do we have that? Yeah, we do. Is it ready? Because she was on with Colbert and got interrupted by the Hamas holes.
Oh,
you didn't see that one?
No, on Colbert's show.
Yeah, they started chanting and
don't forget it was his show, right? That he tried to deliver the line about CNN being fair and
and they laughed at it.
Yeah.
Because it was so ridiculous and everybody
Even
knew
his
it.
Audience said, no.
But she was babbling about the, two-state solution and how important that is.
Oh, wow.
And just showed her unbelievable ignorance. Absolute. Watch this. Here it is.
We have to learn more about trust and peace and learning about each other rather than to have conflict resolved by war.
Well, as you can see from the continuing protest out here, that answer is unsatisfying to some people because they believe that the United States. Hold on 1 second. Would you like to respond to what they're saying?
Yeah, well, what I was saying is.
Will you listen to her response if she?
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No,
they won't.
Screaming, I can't hear them. But to those who have
they've
that
said
question,
that the United States should not have any role in supplying Israel arms to kill the people of Gaza. Now, that's what they're saying.
Israel has a right to defend itself.
No.
Agreed. And the hostages should be returned.
But the other part of it is that has been so major for all of us for many years is that there must be a two-state solution.
Okay, I'm so sick of hearing that.
You cannot have peace unless you have a two-state Israel.
Stupidity.
A secure
absolute
Jewish
stupidity. All right, I can't
state
listen to you anymore.
Of course he's live in Chicago. Of course he is. Of course he's doing his show live from Chicago.
Israel has agreed to this so-called two-state solution over and over again. It started in 1947. The two-state solution was agreed upon by the UN, the United States, Great Britain, and Israel. It was rejected by the Palestinians. Then war ensued as the Palestinians and Arabs tried to eliminate Israel. They took exception to that. What a weird country that they would take exception to being eliminated. That's something that the Palestinians and the Arabs would try again in 1956, 1973, 1980, the 2000s, and beyond. Then there were the Oslo Accords. Oslo 1 happened in 1993. Oslo 2 happened in 1995. Israel and the U.S. agreed to a two-state solution then, both times. The Palestinians did not. In fact, Israel, in the Oslo Accords, people forget, they went so far as to agree to give them East Jerusalem as their capital city. The capital of Palestine was going to be East Jerusalem. Nope, sorry, not good enough. Then in 2000, there was the Camp David summit. Israel and the United States agreed to a two-state solution. Yasser Arafat and the PLO did not. 2007, there was the Annapolis Accord. It included a return, get this, to the 1967 borders, which Israel calls the Holocaust borders because that's what it would lead to. That's what they consider it, as borders that lead to their demise. But they still signed off on it. But they never got a final response from the Palestinians on the offer. And a Palestinian negotiator later acknowledged in the media that the Israeli plan would have given his side the equivalent of 100% of disputed lands under discussion. And again, East Jerusalem as their capital. Right. The Palestinians don't want and have never wanted a two-state solution.
No, it's never enough.
Why?
Not at all.
Because one of the two states would be Israel.
Right.
And that is unacceptable to them. That's why there can be no two-state solution. I get so tired of hearing that two-state solution, right? Two-state solution, right? Can't be peace without two-state solution. No, that's not what the Palestinians want. That's not what they want.
I'll never forget with their boy Bill Clinton, Yasser and the rest of them wandering around Camp David like it was going to be some kumbaya moment. Nope. Sorry, not enough.
It's never enough.
To anything.
It's never enough. The only thing that would be enough is if the Jews go back home, as they say. Go home to Russia or Poland or wherever they came from, before they gathered in Israel. They believe that this is not their home. It's the Palestinians' home, and they want it all. And they will not accept a solution that includes Israel. So tired of it. Jeez.
I mean, that's amazing that your boy Stephen Colbert is allowing that to happen on his show. I mean, who's running the reins over there? I know. And for them to continually interrupt these Democrats and start screaming at the Democrats, it tells you they're pissed.
Oh yeah,
I mean
they were really mad that they didn't get a speaker at the convention
at the DNC. I mean they're backing away from
they don't support her. Period.
Kamala.
Yeah,
we're done.
Yeah,
you give us a speaking spot. We're done.
There was some group that is Palestinian in nature, and they were backing Kamala, and they just pulled out of that.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. You don't want to hear from us?
Okay.
We don't want to hear from you.
Right. So it's pretty interesting. And nobody ever calls for a ceasefire in Ukraine. It's only the Israelis that are bound by, stopping their move to try to finish off Hamas. We can't let them do that. But at Ukraine, they can draw this thing out. The Ukrainians and Russians can draw this out forever. We don't care.
This whole week-long DNC thing, have we even addressed any policies at all?
No.
Of the world or U.S. or city or state or county, anything? Other than you should be able to kill your baby whenever you want?
That's about it. The freedom to kill children. That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, it is.
And everything that's wrong is Donald Trump's fault.
Yep.
He's to blame.
Which is interesting,
not Kamala,
since he hasn't been in office for 3.5 years.
And we're all for freedom and democracy. Not for your candidate because we know what's best there.
No, we're trying to put him in prison because we can't.
But if he were to
him.
get elected, he would do that. He would throw his political opponents.
Yeah, remember when he did that last time?
I do.
Remember that?
I do remember that didn't happen. I do remember that he actually just left.
How they sell the slop that this time it's going to be so much different than it was the first time
all
around.
the time.
That's all we hear about.
It sure
is how he's going to destroy democracy, the non-existent democracy. You know, the democracy that we don't have. He's going to destroy it. Really concerned about that. So we can't let that happen. Did you see that the world's oldest person just died
Yeah, she just
at
died.
117?
117, yeah.
No cause of death was given. In fact, they said she didn't have any major health issues.
Oh, well,
Yet another died suddenly.
Was she vaccinated?
Was she recently vaccinated?
Well,
That's what I'm wondering.
She was. She did have COVID-19 at one point, right? They were bragging about how she had come through COVID, so she probably was vaxxed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So young.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Struck
young.
down in the prime of life at just 117.
So now the oldest is, I think,
we lost her.
115 or 116 in Japan, and Texas and the United States has the oldest person at 115. The oldest in the U.S. is just turned 150.
So we're number third right now.
We're number third. I'd call it.
No, we're not number third. We're we're not number three.
We're not number three or number third.
Because the oldest died.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
So,
right. We're number second.
Number second. Got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to America, Chris. It's great to have you here. How you finding things so far?
You know what? I love it here.
Do you? Good.
The
Good.
opportunity
We love
for-
having you here. We really do.
It's just
You did
fantastic.
come legally, right?
I did.
Okay.
I jumped in a car
Good.
in the water and then just
Yeah.
got in right
wow.
by the Key
You floated
West.
across
floated across the
the ocean.
Caribbean.
You know, speaking of that, I thought about you, Pat, yesterday because I did a story on chewing the fat, my daily show, which you should subscribe to, by the way.
Is it still free?
From yes, it is.
Okay.
From Ollie Lemon, who is a German, and he was visiting the U.S. and he posted a big thread on X. That said, I'm European. I recently visited the USA for the first time since 2018. He went to Las Vegas and New York City, and he said that what I witnessed left me stunned. 15 American oddities I still can't wrap my head around. And he goes on the full list. If you want to hear the full list, listen to yesterday's Chewing the Fat program. But the thing that was fascinating to me is one of his posts was, "How are you?" is thrown around too casually. As a German, I'm not used to exchanging pleasantries with strangers, such as cashiers like that. It feels kind of fake to ask a question that no one really wants an honest answer to.
Right.
But I guess it's part of the American social norms.
Yes.
It is. It is annoying.
It's a good point, though. Thank you. Had to hear it from a German to understand.
Yes.
How's your day going so far? What I hate more than that is, you have any big plans for the weekend?
Does anybody really do that?
They're really going to share that with you? Does anybody share? Yeah, you know what I'm going to do I'm thinking about cheating on my wife this weekend. What do you think about that? Should I do it or?
If that lady over there in aisle 3 says yes, I'm good.
I mean, what are you gonna say to that? What do you say to that? Because I know you love these exchanges.
Yeah, it looks like we're having a barbecue this weekend, huh? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I got a barbecue, got some meat here. We're getting ready to go. Got the family coming over.
Even if you're not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. You just roll with it.
You just make stuff up.
It's just fun.
No, it's not fun. No, it is not.
It's just fun.
Completely disagree with that. It is not fun.
Just fun.
And the German doesn't think so either.
No, the German does not. German does not understand it either.
Did you see the article about the hurricane season and whether or not it's ever going to kick in finally this year?
We've been devastated by these
Devastated by what?
I mean,
we've had one that I think made shore, right?
Yep.
Hurricane Debbie, or did barrel? It didn't barrel into us, did it?
No, it did not. Barrel hit the U.S. twice, though, right?
Hurricane
hit Florida, and then hit
Debbie,
the coast.
Hit as a I don't know. Was it even a hurricane when it hit?
No.
I think it was a tropical storm.
I think it was a tropical storm.
Right?
And it may have strengthened to a hurricane when it finally came through, but that was it. That was it.
So this is, the climate change, global warming psychos can't stand the fact that we're not being inundated and destroyed by hurricanes right now that are more frequent and more intense than ever. So they have to spin the stats to still have their way that this is it's still going to come. Don't worry about it. There's nothing in the ocean right now for the next 7 days. But there's a different metric to measure these things by.
Bet there is.
And it's called the accumulated cyclone energy.
Oh.
And
wow.
that's already 40% of where it should be. So don't worry.
The ACE.
It's still happening.
The ACE.
The ACE. The ACE.
The ACE is coming at you.
High. So I don't want to hear about no hurricanes.
Coming in strong.
Because the accumulated cyclone energy is, in fact, worse than it's ever been.
Wow. Scary.
Right. We'll see you on Overtime and back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.